in Samantha, a recovering addict. She's 22 years old, and I would like to, for you to introduce yourself to the people. Hello, hello. Okay, hello.
Yeah, I'm back.
Okay, can you hear me good? Sound like a little echo. Sound like a little echo where you at.
You hear me?
You can hear me? Yeah, okay. Now I can hear you. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, introduce yourself to the people. Let them know. How was it as recovering addict, and give us your life experience.
Um. So I got to Washington Heights through the harm reduction place on 180 in Amsterdam.
Okay.
I was going to get a free pipe. Because I didn't have money to buy a pipe at the store. So I smoked crack. I used to smoke crack.
Oh. Okay. Okay.
So I went to go to the harm reduction place with a guy I met in Harlem, where I originally started smoking. He
Mhm.
took me there, and I made connections with the people in the harm reduction place. You can sleep there, eat there, shower, do your laundry, smoke there, shoot up there. It's a
Oh.
place where homeless people can go during the day to like
Gotcha.
just be inside.
Okay, and who took you there? You don't have to say a name exactly, but was it a friend or family or
It was
you
a
know?
drug dealer that I met,
Oh, okay,
and
oh, okay,
he didn't smoke crack. He only smoked weed and cigarettes. So I met him and I started using him to get more crack from him because
yeah.
my addiction led me that far.
Oh, okay. So how was your life before the addiction?
I had my child. I had a son in 2023, and
Okay,
I got pregnant. I was 17, turning 18 years old. So I I wasn't taking any medication because I was breastfeeding my child. Ended up
yes,
getting postpartum depression, and that led me to calling like the suicide hotline every night. I wasn't doing well with my baby father, who
oh,
wasn't
sorry to hear that.
really present during his early childhood. So it was really hard for me as a single mom, you know,
Hmm.
at 18, 19 years old. I didn't know what to do, and I didn't really have my family there for me because I was so far away.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
Yeah, so it was hard. So I ended up taking my baby on a plane to the city
Hmm.
because I thought I would get more help in New York than I did in Texas, and that I would be more comfortable, and that maybe all I needed was like to be more independent because I couldn't go outside where I was living in Texas because I don't
Oh,
know how to
okay,
drive.
yeah.
So I ended
What?
up becoming more independent in the city. I took my baby to a domestic violence shelter because it was getting to be mental and emotional abuse between me and my baby father. So I left,
Oh, okay,
and
okay,
I ended up having to give my baby back to his father because of my postpartum depression. I wasn't taking care of my mental health. They wanted to open a
yeah.
CPS case against me. I didn't want
Oh,
anything on my record, so I gave him
and
back to his father.
and do you have your baby now? Does he has custody or you have custody of your baby?
We have joint custody, but I have to.
Okay,
I still am trying to get into contact with him to build a
yeah,
relationship with my son. Build
yeah,
some clean time so that I can go to court and show that I have like a reliable home,
yeah,
support system. So I'm trying.
yeah.
I'm trying right now.
Well, that's all you can do as long as you try and you don't give up. Because the Lord works in mysterious ways. So I
Yeah.
just don't I just don't want you to give up. I first off I want to say you brave for coming on here, and this is going to help a lot of people, and especially younger kids. That's
Thank
why I
you.
I started my business because I wanted to get young kids off the streets, and then I don't want them to do drugs or sell drugs. But
Yeah.
in your situation, I understand. Um, when did you realize that you was on drugs? Like, when it first happened, something like that.
That's so funny because I went to the Bronx Women's Single Shelter. After I
Yeah,
gave my baby to his father, they told me that I had to go to the single woman shelter because I didn't have
yeah,
my baby and it was a family shelter.
yeah,
But when I went there, I had lost my wallet and I met a woman named
oh man,
Moet who
yeah,
gave me a shotgun, which is blowing the smoke in my mouth.
oh
I
wow,
didn't know what
oh
it
okay.
was.
Oh,
And
for a
then
second, I thought you said another shotgun, shotgun. I was like, okay, now I know what
no,
you.
that's
Yeah,
what it's
yeah,
called. It's called a shotgun.
yeah,
They
the
blow the
shotgun. Yeah,
smoke in
mouth
your
to mouth,
mouth.
right? Yeah,
And
yeah.
then I didn't know what it was. She gave me a pipe. I still didn't know what it
Mhm.
was. It took me 3 days to figure out that I was smoking crack
Oh
because
wow,
I had no idea what I was smoking. I didn't even know it was cocaine because I never had a sniffing cocaine phase. I
yeah.
didn't sniff cocaine. I
Oh,
went straight to smoking crack.
so when you didn't know, or you just like felt like just felt smoking like coming into your face and breathing smoke. That's all you felt before. You thought it was you were smoking crack or something.
No, I was smoking out of the pipe and I
Oh,
wasn't
okay.
smoking it right and they were telling
Yeah.
me how to smoke it and then when they told me it was crack and how to really smoke it, I finally like it's like hearing bells and yeah,
Oh,
I realized I was smoking crack and I got
and
high
how
and that
and
was
how
it.
how and how did it make you feel? Like, did you feel like embarrassed, hurt? Like, did you feel betrayed?
No, I think I felt surprised because
Yeah.
I really didn't know what crack looked like. I wasn't in that type of
Yeah.
crowd. I was more
Yeah.
into pills when I was younger and like Molly and E pills, but
Yeah.
like crack and coke, I never really wanted to sniff anything.
Yeah.
I smoked mad weed, like
Mhm.
so it was just surprising. Like and I know like the history that my family has with that addiction.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when I thought about that, it was interesting because I it felt like I I didn't even know how I had gotten to that moment where I was smoking crack. I just
Yeah.
got there. I couldn't like retrace
Oh.
my steps to like how I
Yeah.
got to that point. And then
Oh,
I was
okay.
up for 2 weeks straight because
Oh, wow.
I fell so hard into the addiction that I was smoking
Yeah.
every 10 minutes, trying to get more, trying to get it was just crazy.
Oh,
It
wow.
was crazy. I did things
And
that
and
I never thought I would do,
oh, wow.
you know. It was just
Yeah.
crazy.
And how is it like living like when you was dealing through that? How did it feel like with your addiction? How you dealt with that a lot? Like when
Um,
you didn't have the money for drugs, or when you was high
no,
and
when
then because you was on your
mm,
mission. Like how was you
um,
living with it?
so in the beginning, in the very beginning in Harlem
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
110 in Lenox, I was
Yeah.
tricking. I was having sex for money and drugs.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
And then when I got to the heights, I was more
Yeah.
so just manipulating men
Yeah.
and using them, but not giving them what they wanted and just
Yeah.
taking what I wanted. And
Like when
then
you
I
say,
went,
oh, I'm sorry to cut you off. Like when you said you was taking what you wanted, was that like money, or you didn't give them a sex preference? Like
like I wouldn't give them what they wanted. I wouldn't have sex with them. I would just take the
oh, okay,
crack that they would give me and
and
say
take off.
I had to go somewhere and take off. Yeah, like
Oh,
I was
okay.
doing that a lot, and then it got to a
Yeah.
point where, like, I realized how much money I could make.
Yeah.
So I started making a lot of money. But
Yeah.
that was in my first 2 years of addiction.
Oh, okay.
That was when I was by myself and like
Yeah.
I had a man that was abusing me that was
Oh,
like 51 years old that I used him
yeah.
to live inside somewhere.
Yeah.
Dykeman,
He's from Dykeman,
and
you said?
was living with Dykeman. So
Yeah,
you're talking about a whole Washington Heights. I was walking up back and forth to
yeah.
hustle and make my money and use drugs, walking from 163rd all the way up to Dykeman.
Oh wow.
I was walking. I was walking.
And
Amsterdam, Audubon, St. Nicholas, Broadway, all of it.
and was there a moment where you like seek for recovery after all that?
Yeah, I did. I went to rehab. I went back to go see my son. I
Yeah.
was still having reservations to smoke crack. I was in contact with a man that abused me, and he bought me a plane to leave to go back to the city and smoke more crack. So I
Oh
left
man.
my son again
Yeah.
because of my disease and my addiction.
Yeah.
And I tried to get clean again. I just had 10 months clean. I relapsed 6 months ago,
Congratulations.
7 months ago.
Sorry to hear that. I'm
So
gonna pray for you that everything turns out good.
no, thank you so much. I have
You're welcome.
33 days clean now.
Oh, congratulations, man. That's a beautiful
Thank
thing.
you.
That's a
Thank
beautiful
you.
thing. Keep up the good work.
Yeah, I just relapsed and I was just in the Heights for 6 months.
Yeah.
And my mom didn't even know if I was dead or alive at times because
Oh my
my
God.
phone had gotten stolen or I had sold all the phones I
Yeah.
was getting. I would only
Yeah.
be able to contact her with the kiosk, which we
Oh
use
wow.
all the time. All the time
Yeah.
we're using the kiosk to call the plug,
Yeah.
to call whoever. We're using the
Yeah.
kiosk. I didn't want to call my mother when I was getting high though. So I
Yeah. I
wouldn't
can
call her a
understand that.
lot because I was always high. I would be up for days.
Yeah.
So it was
And oh man.
now that I'm this past time in rehab,
Yeah.
I'm going to meetings. I think I'm doing the right thing. So
Yes, you are. You're
yeah.
definitely doing the right thing. And what was your first step towards recovery, if I may ask that?
Oh man, my first step towards recovery, I had
Yeah.
an overdose for the first
Oh,
time.
okay.
The man that I was being abused by gave me fentanyl in
Oh
my
man.
crack pipe,
Oh
and
wow.
I smoked it.
Oh,
And
sorry to
it
hear that.
was I had overdose and woken up and called my mom scared and
Yeah.
in pain.
And what came to
And
your mind like when you were scared? You said like, did you
I
think you
thought
was
that
gonna die right away, or you felt
yeah,
that?
like
Oh wow.
I felt I woke up throwing up. I woke
Yeah.
up with my head feeling like it was gonna explode. I got
Oh
Narcan
my
three
God.
times.
You got what?
Narcan 3 times.
Oh wow. Oh my God. Well, I'm glad you're still here with us. I'm glad you're
Yeah,
still here. Yeah. And what are the most challenges that you faced for recovery?
I think it's just the places. Being in the city is a trigger for me. I can't be in
Yeah.
the city. I can't go back
Okay.
to Washington Heights right now.
Yeah.
Not until I
Yeah.
get better.
Yeah. That's
I love the Heights. Don't get me wrong. Like it's
yeah.
a beautiful place. Like when you look at it differently. But when I was living
Yes.
like that, like all I saw was
A lot of darkness. Mhm. Yeah.
other than
I
that,
can definitely understand that.
yeah. It's more like habits, like having good habits. I need to like stop doing it's not just about stopping the smoking. It's about the
Yeah.
habits that you did when you were smoking it and what you're doing now. So I'm trying to change
Yeah.
my habits and do different things.
Yeah. That's a good. That's good. Pray to God. Go to church a lot. That helps a lot too. And
Yeah,
and what are the things that help you stay sober?
my family,
That's good.
thinking about them and not wanting them to be in pain. I
Yeah.
think about my son.
That's good.
I think about like just the opportunities that I still have with my life. Like, thank God I still
Yes.
have a clean record under my name. Like
Yes. That's very
I
important.
still have
Yes.
opportunities. I don't have like any legals.
Yeah.
I can do a lot of things. I just went to rehab, like,
That's
and
good.
that was a blessing in itself.
Yes, yes, a very big blessing. Yes. And what is the biggest source of support?
The NA meetings, the NA
Okay.
meetings, they're like a safe space where recovering addicts can go to talk about, what they go through in their addiction and how they stay
Yeah.
sober to help another addict.
Oh, okay.
So I go there a lot to get help.
That's
I
good.
go with my mom.
Yeah.
Me and her are comfortable with each other, and it's like two addicts, that are helping each other and keeping each other sober is better than one addict by themselves.
That's right.
I
Yeah.
believe that.
Yes, that is so true. And how has recovery changed your relationship with your family and friends?
Um, I think it's like a building a trust thing again.
Yeah.
I have to, I have to like regain a lot of trust and a lot of people, like the father of
Yeah.
my child, my
Yeah.
mom, sister. They still get
Yeah.
scared, like, and nervous. Understand because of how
Yeah.
low I went in my addiction
Yeah.
and how
Yeah.
far I went. But I'm 22 years old. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
I
You
get it.
still
My
young.
mom
You're still a
treated
kid.
me
You're
as
gonna
a baby. Yeah.
because I'm not gonna lie. At my age at 22, we all did wild things. At my age at 22, I was in a graffiti and doing graffiti, and I was in the train yard. My parents didn't know. I used to go late at night. So 22 is like a wild age. I'm happy to be here
Yeah.
because what made me quit graffiti is that I almost lost my legs. So that's when
Oh
I was
my
like, hey, that's
god.
it. So yeah, the train hit me on the side. It kept hitting me. And then the good thing that it was this much space because my leg, I fell right through, between the train and
Oh
and
my
the spaces. So
god.
I would have lost his left leg right now. So and another thing, I almost fell through the streets. What I'm saying, you know how the tracks are all the way up in the air. If it
Yeah.
wasn't for my friend that grabbed me, I would have fell to the streets. I would have probably been dead right now. So
Oh my
after that, those
god.
two things,
God
I said
bless
I'm done with
you.
graffiti. So at the age of 22, we all do wild things. But
Yeah.
I'm glad that you're still here with us, and you're doing the right thing for your kids, for your mother, your family, your friends. And
Thank
I
you.
just want to say, if you ever need support, you need to call me. You can ask my mother. You give her my number. Take my number, and you can call me anytime, no matter the time and place. And I'll always be here for you. My thing is that I'm 57. And it'll be nice for you one day to see 57. And there's a beautiful thing when you can look back and say, "Wow, I remember I used to do all these wild things, and I came so far." Because when we was younger, there was people shooting at us and everything. And, you guys paid. And people were shooting at us and everything, and we glad that we still here today. And
Mhm.
it's a blessing. A lot of my friends can't say that. Some of my friends are not here today, and I thank God every day. That's
Yeah, rest
what the
in
most
peace.
important thing you got to do. Thank God every day. So make sure you do that every day so that Daddy can help you.
Thank you so
And
much.
yes, you're welcome. You're welcome. And I wanted to ask you, and what have you learned? With your recovery, through your recovery, what you have learned so far?
I've learned that my habits are what's gonna drag me right back to picking up again. I've
Oh,
learned that people, places, and things is real, and that
yeah.
if I go back to the city, I know exactly where I'm gonna go. There's
Yes,
just no
yes.
going back to the city. I
Yeah.
know that there's certain people that I cannot talk to ever again, and
Yes,
that's
yes. You
just
gotta.
what life has to be. I have to accept life on life's terms. I have to say the serenity prayer all the time.
Yeah,
Like I can't change the things that I cannot change. Like
exactly.
I just have to accept that. I have to accept that, and I have to,
Yeah.
you know, yeah, change the things that I can. Yeah.
And that's the thing. Yeah, sometimes you gotta change your circle. Because some people are just not good for you. Like right now, from what I see now, there's a lot of people doing more evil than good. You got your some. Well, it's always been like that in life. You got your good and you got your evil. But in today's world, there's a lot of more evil than good. And sometimes
Mhm.
you have to change your circle. Don't be scared if you have to change the circle or leave a person alone. don't be scared because at the end of the day, it's gonna benefit you. You know, and you wanna have a long future. You know, you wanna spend time with your kid, and you know, and if you're on drugs, you're not gonna be spend time with your kids. You know, and your kids are gonna stay away from you. So you don't want that because at the end of the day, you only hurting nobody but yourself. You know. But
Word
once
up.
once you get off of that, you know, your kids are gonna love you no matter what. A kid was always going to love their mother, no matter what they go through. You know, so that's one thing I want you to keep in your mind. No matter what you go through, you know, a lady, it's like my father always told me, I don't care if a lady's a prostitute or drug addict, you respect that lady like if she was your mother, you know? And
Mm,
I always stood in my mind, you know, so if a son really loves you, he's gonna stay with you all the time. So, you know, just don't feel like, you know, he's gonna neglect you or whatever, you know. But just remember that he's gonna be, you know, always there for you. You know,
thank
as long
you.
as you're doing the right thing, you know, you're welcome, sweetie. You know, like I said, and I'm here for you. You know, whenever you need to talk, I'm here for you, man. You know, because I help a lot of people, and whatever we talk is gonna stay between us. You know, nobody will have to know that. You know, and
Hmm.
just remember that. You know, I'm a good. I'm me and Peg. We like this together. You know, so you know that's he's my best friend. And, you know, I'm his best friend. So you know, we've been through a lot together. So you know, I'm definitely gonna look out. And I told Joanna, you know, if I see you in the street, we definitely gonna look out. You know, because I remember there was a time that like I said, you was walking down. We was walking down 173rd from Broadway to St. Nicholas, and then Peg turned around and said, "Man, I look like Joanna's daughter," but like I didn't know you, so you know, of course you went by me, and I didn't know, you know. But then when we tried
Yeah,
to turn back to go see you, you was already gone. So I'm like, man, she disappeared that quick, like you know. But you know,
yeah, they be moving.
I guess you probably was on the mission or whatever, you know. But you know, but we glad that you know that you're here with us today, man, and you know, and at least you get it cleaned up, and that's a beautiful thing, you know. You know, and
Much.
and let me ask you this, and what advice you got for somebody that's you know that's strung out on drugs right now, that's doing bad?
My advice: do things that you're uncomfortable with doing.
Yeah,
I was so uncomfortable, like getting in my aunt's car to go to the Amtrak to come back to
yeah,
Albany to get clean. But I had
yeah,
to do something that was uncomfortable and unknown because change is not the worst thing in the world.
exactly. It's not.
And yeah, I don't think that I think that like it's time to start getting uncomfortable with what your lifestyle is. It's
Yeah,
time to start getting uncomfortable with where you are in life and to really like look at it from a different perspective and say,
yeah,
like, wow, like what have I done with my life at this age and this time in my life? Like, what do I
yeah,
have? You
yeah,
know, because it's not
yeah,
always about materials. It's like, what do I have in my family? Do I have like, people that love me and care about me?
exactly, yo.
You
Because at the end of
know,
the day, man, your best friend is your family, you know. You know, like
yeah,
somebody can
like,
say, "Oh, I'm your friend, I love you," but at the end of the day, your family's gonna love you forever. You know, they're gonna be there for you. Either you get locked up, or God forbid something happens to you in the street that you end up in a hospital, or you know, or even dead. You know,
mhm,
they always gonna be there for you. You know what I'm saying? So,
no,
you know,
yeah,
you got,
that's what I'm saying. Like, that's just
mm, yeah, yeah. Oh, the camera it froze a little bit. It oh, can you repeat it again? Cause it froze a little bit.
Oh, I'm saying like a lot of addicts feel like they
Yeah.
use because they feel like nobody loves them.
Oh,
Like
okay.
I know what that feels like for
Yeah.
being themselves for who they are. They feel like nobody loves them for who they are. And like I didn't you have to get
And
uncomfortable and do things that will show you a different light of life. Like
yeah.
I didn't realize that my mom loved me so much until she
Yes, of
came on
course.
Mother's Day looking for me in the street,
Yeah.
in the Heights, as a recovering addict.
And
That takes a lot for somebody to do.
and trust me, your mother do love you because she called Paik a lot, you know, and she called me as well, and I said, you know what, if we could find her in the streets, we definitely, we're gonna, pick you up and then take you wherever you needed to get help at. So we was definitely
Yeah,
looking
I
for you out there.
appreciate it.
You
I
know,
appreciate it.
So I appreciate your moms. Always appreciate your moms, even if your moms get upset at you. She's only doing it for the right things.
I
When
know
mothers
she
get
is.
upset, it's always for the right things.
I
So,
know.
but I applaud your mother because she didn't give up on you. There's a lot of kids that their parents give up on them, and that's the wrong thing to do. Always, you always
Yeah,
got to
my
be there for your
mom.
kids no matter what, man. I mean,
Yeah,
we're not all perfect. But that's a
no, my
beautiful thing
mom
that at
did. She
least,
did the same.
it's a beautiful thing that that she did that. So but I wanted to ask you so what do you wish people to understand about your addiction and recovery?
I think I wish that people would understand that I'm not just an addict,
Yeah,
that my life doesn't revolve around like my disease of addiction.
yeah,
That, yeah, I've made some poor life decisions, but that's not like who I am as a person.
yeah,
And I think that like people look at me differently when they know that I'm in an NA community, or
mm,
like people think less of me and underestimate me, and it's hard because I'm not that I have a person, like an identity outside of this, that
yeah,
like
exactly.
if you would just get to
Always think
know
like that.
me, you would know that I'm not just I don't I don't need crack to like be a confident, like
Yeah,
smart, intellectual person. Like I can do that on my own sober.
exactly.
mm,
Always,
You know.
always, think positive. Even and there's one thing you got to notice about this world that people are going to talk about you no matter if you do good, you do bad. There's always going to be somebody to criticize. The reason I'm telling you this is because when I started my business, a lot of people laughed at me. It was in 2016 I started this. A lot of people on my block laughed at me. But then when they see me pulling up with celebrities who putting my clothes in my videos and all that in their videos, then they was all happy. They were like, "Oh my god, like he did it." But it takes a lot of hard work. Even if you do good, people still gonna talk about you. I got people to today that talk about me because I'm doing good and I'm not out there in the corner, hanging out, smoking or sniffing drugs. You know what I'm saying? So that people are gonna talk about you.
Yeah.
The person you gotta please is yourself. Don't worry about what other people think. People always gonna think something, but as long as you prove them wrong, that's the best. That's the best thing within you. Once you could do that and prove them wrong, you're gonna see how they're gonna start looking at you and be like, oh wow, and put their head down, and that's why, because they're ashamed of what you did better than them. They underestimated you. That's the best. That's a good thing. When the people underestimate you, you prove them wrong. That's like look at the New York Knicks. Everybody expected them to lose, right? And what they did, they won, right?
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
that's what you got to do. Whenever people underestimate you, take it as okay, I'm gonna prove you wrong. And once you do that, you're gonna see how people are gonna start
Bring
looking at you
up.
different. Like, oh my gosh, you did it, and you'll be able to help somebody else because you gotta understand when by you doing something like that, it's gonna say to another person, oh man, like yo, if she did it, I could do it too as well. So always think like that. Don't think like everything is all negative and stuff like that. Always think
Yeah.
positive. And once you think positive, things will come out in a different light. And then make sure you always pray to God before you do something. Pray to God, and He will open doors for you. Even if you have to go to church, you do that as well. And
Thank
that'll
you.
help a lot. You're welcome, sweetie.
Thank you.
And like I said, I'll be checking up on you, make sure that everything is okay with you.
Okay.
But stay strong, my sister.
Thank you
But
so much.
you're welcome, sweetie. But anything you want to say to the people in Washington Heights before we leave?
I want to say that um addicts are
Yes.
people. Before they pick up,
Yeah.
they have a potential to have a life after they pick up.
Yes.
They just need help. They're not
Yes.
they the disease of addiction can take them so far that they will do things that cross their own morals and values.
Yes.
You know, if you think they're crossing your morals and values, how do you think they feel? It's a
Yeah.
battle inside their own mind within
Okay.
themselves.
Yeah.
And I just want them to see addiction in a different light,
Yeah.
knowing a little bit more information of what it is.
And
Yeah, we
that's
can help
that's
one another.
and that's good you said that because see like a person like me like I don't take drugs so I wouldn't understand like what it is to be in that light in that world. But that's a good thing for people that are not in that world. They can also understand and also help somebody that is in that world. Because
Hmm.
like me, when I went and recorded the other day, I went down there for the purpose because of you, because of what happened to you. Your mom told me that they hit you, they cut your hair. So
Yeah,
I decided to go down there and record because I want the politicians. It's not only to get our vote, but also to clean up down there and make sure you give people the help that they need. Because at the end of the day, we all people.
yeah.
Some people, go through struggles. Some people lose their mothers. Some people lose their fathers. When they go into addiction and stuff like that. Some people are not good under pressure. Myself, I'm good under pressure because I've been attacked so much by people that I learned to accept it. And one thing I said about myself is that when you do God's work, people are gonna come after you. You know, which I don't care. you know. But at the end of the day, when I'm in God's hands, you can't touch me, you can't say nothing to me that will bother me or break me. And that's the model that
Hmm.
I want you to get in. When God puts you in a place and he's helping you give you a second chance, make sure you take advantage of the opportunity, because you got to be there for your kids. A lot of mothers that was in your situation never made it. You know, as we speak right now, there's probably somebody losing their life just because of that. Or they got shot, or they got hit by a car, or they fell off a window, whatever. God
Hmm.
forbid. But when God gives you a second chance, make sure you take it, man. And be there for your
Thank
kids, your
you.
family is very important. You're welcome, sweetie. It's very important, man. And I decided to do this interview because I definitely wanted to help you out, and I want to help out our generation too as well, because a lot of our generation are lost, man, and that's what the system wants. The system is
Hmm.
designed to destroy us, and you guys are our generation, man. So you guys could be the next president, the next doctor, the next lawyer. So never give up on your dreams, man. And that's a beautiful thing. But what are your dreams and your goals?
I want to go to school to be a registered nurse.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, and nothing. I want to stay home with my family. I want to be here for
Yeah.
my sisters. I'm the oldest child.
Oh,
I
okay.
want to set a good example and
Yes.
stop,
Yes. Definitely.
you know.
Definitely. Yeah. Little by little, you'll set it. I'm the oldest one too. Of my brothers too. So. But you're
Mm,
definitely gonna set a good example, man. I could see it in you. I could see it in you already. I believe in you. I have, I
thank
feel,
you
I
so
feel
much.
that God is gonna help you and that you're in the right path. I really feel that for you. You know,
Thank you so much.
you're welcome. You're welcome. Just stay strong. If you need to talk, like I said, I'm always here for you. And just stay positive. That's all you got to do. Stay positive all the time. Pray to God, which is the most important thing. And just stay with your family. If you need to cut some people off, cut them off. Don't worry about that. Don't look back. Always look forward. Because some people don't want the
Thank
best for
you.
you. And I'm not gonna be straight up honest with you because I have friends that didn't want the best for me, and I had to leave them. And of course, it hurt me. It's gonna hurt everybody, of course. But at the end of the day, like I said, you helping yourself. You know. So when you go forward, sweetie, just go forward full force. Stay with your mom. Get advice from your mom, your sisters. And just be there for them, man.
Okay.
You know?
Thank you.
All right. You're welcome, sweetie. Well, I wish you the best and with everything. I'm gonna pray for you that everything works out good. And the floor is yours. Anything you want to say before we end the video?
Thank you so much for letting me do this interview. It was a
You're
pleasure.
welcome. Thank
Thank
you.
you so much.
Likewise. Thank you.
Mhm.
Likewise,
Yeah,
sweetie.
have
I'm,
a
I'm
good
glad I had
night.
you on the show. All right, sweetie. But take care. You already know.
You
I'm
too.
gonna be praying for you. Stay strong and stay focused, baby. That's all I can tell you. All right. And make
Thank
sure you
you.
pray
You
every
too.
day. All right, love. God bless you. Stay safe. All right.
God bless you.
All right. Take care, sweetie. Okay. Bye.